Hi guys, thanks for joining me. We're in Marquette, Michigan on Carp River here at Rippling River Resort Campground. I love taking my family here and I love bringing coffee here. I wanted to show you guys just how awesome the jet boil is with the AeroPress and the hand grinder. You can do all these things together anywhere and have great coffee. So I want to show that to you while you get this great scenery alongside it. Let's make some coffee. I brought along this Ethiopia whole bean coffee I roasted just a couple of weeks ago. Medium, it's got a nice body to it, strawberry, blueberries, all that good stuff. We're gonna put 20 grams in the AeroPress and we're gonna do it right here, no electricity involved. It takes just about 1.5 minutes to boil the water. It takes a couple of minutes to grind the coffee and we're on our way to good coffee. Now some of you guys can really eyeball the AeroPress because the AeroPress is super forgiving. You're gonna be able to kind of eyeball how much coffee to put in your hand grinder because there's only so much you can put in most hand grinders that look about 20, somewhere between 20 and 30 grams is what some of these capacities are. And 30 grams in a hand grinder is plenty for your arms anyway. So I like to get out the scale to keep things as consistent as possible, to make things repeatable. That's such an important process of making good coffee every single day. Make it consistent and repeatable. When you make it consistent, you can at least figure out what you're doing wrong if something isn't tasting right. A scale is a pretty crucial part to making sure that some of your variables aren't as variable as they could be. 20 grams in, 200 grams of water. If you do that every time, there's not a lot that can go wrong with the AeroPress. So inside here, beans go in the top. On top of the scale, 20 on the dot. Next up, cap it, just like that. We are all set to start grinding. You can turn your scale off for now. Now if you're curious, this is the Hario Mini Slim Pro. There's a few different variations of Hario hand grinders out there. I honestly don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Hario makes fantastic equipment specific to coffee, so I don't think that they're going to provide you a product that doesn't do its service. But there's some differences. I think this one had a reinforced aluminum handle. I don't know that the other ones would have been any worse, but it sounded cool to me, and it fits the aesthetic in my kitchen. Empty in the top, you know you're done. Smells amazing. We're gonna leave that closed for the moment. Now I contemplated using some of the river water to actually make coffee with, but for the sake of consistency, reliability, and repeatability, I'm gonna stick with trusty old spring water. But I'm sure that would be fine too. But don't trust me, I'm not a doctor. Now we're looking for 200 grams. That's going to give us that 1:10 ratio that I prefer in the AeroPress. Now your jet boil should come with a little cap here. That's going to help us pour it a little bit, lock this into place. And now you turn your gas up and light it. Now one of the cool things about the jet boil, as opposed to other brands who make a very similar product, and there's nothing wrong with those, but this is kind of a nice to have, is that when the water is boiling, the jet boil logo here will light up orange as a result of some thermodynamic process and coloring that's on the actual sleeve here. Now for a good cup in the AeroPress, temperature isn't super important. I have done temperatures as low as 180 degrees Fahrenheit, in the AeroPress for certain brews and it comes out good. And then other times, like this morning before I left the cabin, I took it off of boil for about 30 seconds and it was great. You can see the orange starting to appear here. That's pretty much ready, so we can turn off our gas. We're gonna leave it sit for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds off boil is good enough. And now it's time to get the AeroPress ready. Everything's already laid out. You don't have to do any more weights, but we are going to use the timer on the scale still. So keep that around. Get a filter out for your AeroPress. Slips in like that, clicks in, nice and easy. Take the plunger out. Put the AeroPress right on top of your mug. And now it's time for the coffee in. Get the jet boil off of the burner, set that aside. Now, the sleeve on this jet boil makes it so that pretty much as it boils, you can handle it. It's not too hot. You've got the pour spout here. We're just gonna even out. Oh, we're gonna get the scale turned on just for the timer so that we know when 30 seconds goes by, when a minute 30 goes by, 2 minutes. So start the timer, start pouring. And we know there's 200 grams of water in there, so just pour it all in. You're probably going to want to put that back on the burner because the bottom portion of the jet boil is still going to be pretty hot and you don't want to burn anything like a wood table, for example. So we're almost at 30 seconds. Give it a little swish. Make sure all those grounds swirl around pretty good. Cap it. We're going to want to contain some of that heat, but don't push. And I usually wait until about a minute 30. I'll give it one more swirl at a minute 30 and then press at 2 minutes. So we've got a minute 27 here. I'm going to pick this up. Give it a good swirl, minute 30. We're just making sure that everything gets evenly extracted. Agitation helps with that. 5 seconds to go, just getting ready. And we plunge. I kind of like to stick both hands. 1 to steady it, and 2 to apply just a little extra consistent force. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to make sure it's nice and slow as it goes down. Don't back off. The pressure will finally release. You'll hear a hiss. Voila! We have coffee. I'm going to give it just a moment to cool down a little bit. Good time to put some things away. That's basically it. Just a little slip of paper, biodegradable. I'm not going to leave it out here, but you can compost it. Now it should be cool enough to drink. So good. I'm so glad you joined me today. I would love for you to stick around. I want to do more videos like this, to be honest. Making coffee outdoors is just a really fun thing to do. Having coffee in general is kind of a therapeutic thing for me at this point. Making the coffee, the process of it, and then drinking the coffee, especially in a place like this. You know, you've got just like cascading water coming down the river, the light filtering through the trees. I mean, for a photographer, it's an awesome place to be with or without coffee. But as part of the coffee making process, I really couldn't pick a better place to just enjoy a cup. I really hope you've learned something. If you have, let me know what you learned. Was there something that I said that kind of sparked some interest? Is there something more you want me to go deeper into? Let me know. I'd love to have a conversation. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day.